A new beginning. A challenging and hopeful journey from Mardin to Canada. Every immigration story begins with hope. Our story was shaped by a challenging and unforgettable journey from Mardin to Canada, in search of a better future. We encountered many difficulties on the way. We were scared, we were sad. But we never gave up. First steps from Mardin to Cancun. Our journey began at midnight at Mardin Airport. We set off with our small suitcases and big hopes. After a short break at Istanbul Airport, we boarded a Turkish Airlines flight to Cancun, connecting in Mexico City. The first part of the journey was long but uneventful. When we arrived in Cancun, we were tired but excited. However, the scenes at passport control depressed us. Many people were being turned away according to arbitrary treatment. When we saw them, the possibility that we would share the same fate came to mind. All our documents were complete, our hotel reservation and visa details were complete. However, we still could not suppress our fear. Fortunately, our passports were sealed and we entered the Cancun. When we went out, we encountered another problem: bribe demands. The officers demanded money from us with various excuses. We gave them what they wanted so that there would be no problems. But this situation was heartbreaking. We had planned to turn our Turkcell line on roaming and use it with the international package, but it did not work. So we had to get a local line. We rested at a hotel in the city center and returned to the airport at midnight. Our destination was Chihuahua. Excitement and fear at the American border. When we reached Chihuahua, the real difficult part of the border journey began. We rented a taxi and drove for 4 hours towards the Juarez-El Paso border. Along the way, we had to pay the taxi driver extra to avoid the checkpoints. The taxi driver dropped us off at a hill near the border and told us that we could cross the stream and reach the US. We went down the hill. When we reached the stream, US border police were watching us on the opposite shore. Our eyes met. We embraced our children and entered the water. The water was not very deep, but the bottom was mud and slippery. Our feet were slipping with every step. My wife lost her balance and fell. One of her shoes got stuck in the mud. Despite everything, we managed to cross the stream safely. The border police came to us immediately afterwards. After certain procedures, they put us in a patrol car and took us to a meeting point. In the process, we lost almost all of our personal belongings. Most of our belongings were thrown away. Only important documents, our phones and wallets remained. The concentration camp was a cold and hopeless place. We waited in a huge room with hundreds of people. We made do with apples, ready-made burgers and snacks for days. On the 5th day, our names were finally called and we left to be sent to church. New hope. Crossing to Canada, we bought our plane tickets to go to New Jersey. Despite our children's colds at the airports during the transfers, they patiently got through this process. From here, we reached the Roxham border gate with a journey of about 4 hours. When we arrived at the Canadian border, our fear and excitement reached its peak. The police warned us gently, but we were determined. We crossed the border with the children. We were now on Canadian soil. The Canadian police were kind from the very beginning. They asked if we were hungry and about our health. They quarantined us due to the children's illness. We stayed at the Sheraton Hotel for 25 days. We had difficulty adjusting to the food due to the cultural difference. Still, we were patient because this process would end one day and we would start our new life. The procedures after the quarantine were completed and we stepped into our new life in Montreal. A new beginning. This journey was not only a physical journey, it was also a process of patience, endurance and strengthening family ties. The happiness of making a new start in Canada was worth all these difficulties.